As scapegoats, we're so often the odd ones, the misfits, the weirdos, the black sheep, the kind of, as a friend of mine said the other day, she's a purple sheep. Fabulous. We have this core identity that somehow we're broken, and for some reason that means that the energy we carry, we attract people that point towards us and say, you're wrong. We could be in a situation, whether it's school or family or work or whatever it is, you've kind of got, for me, I find we have this genuine energy that is misinterpreted by the world, or very, very easily used by the world, by which I mean other people with a certain energy, to kind of collude to say that we are the broken ones. We carry their darkness, we carry their baggage, and it's so difficult to step out of that role, because most often they'll have our buttons pushed and then say that they're wrong, whatever. We'll name the truth, and then there's this collusion to say, well, obviously that's not true, Mark, for this reason, this reason, and this reason. And even if I can see blue and everyone else is naming red, for me it's about understanding how my empowerment comes about. It's not in pushing back against these people. It's certainly not immediately. It's about an understanding why there is a wounded part of me that wants to react when someone pushes a button and I'm triggered. It's that thing of know thyself. If I can understand why when someone says something I get angry, or I kind of need to justify, or why it triggers my wound, then that's knowledge that I can find, that I can use. I can use those other people in order to increase the speed of my spiritual awakening, if I'm open to it. Even if it's painful, if I can say, well, what's going on for me? What's my part in this? Ignoring whoever it is, because if they've got a certain energy and they're pushing my buttons, even if I never see them again, there's going to be someone else who's like it. Even if I change my energy, there will always be people in life who wish to push their darkness onto me. Raccoon. He is just, sorry, bit bizarre. Push their darkness onto me. And the more I can say, there's an expression I love, which is, not my monkey, not my circus. It's like, if it's their baggage and their problem, then I can just go, look, this isn't me. This isn't what you're saying. I can understand why you're saying it, but actually we're talking about this, and every time we talk about this, for some reason you segue onto something I did 20 years ago. If I can do that without getting angry, if I can just observe this is meditation stuff. It's like, if I can observe the feeling, it's understandable that if your buttons are being pressed, you feel angry. It's understandable that if you were treated in a certain way, that you still have feelings about that. For me, what I've found is, by working through the traumas and the bad experiences and any resentments I still carry, resentments being, the word comes from 13th century French, it means to re-feel. If I'm still upset, angry, sad, whatever, when I think of something or someone, or it means that there's still a charge in my body on a quantum level. There's still energy there that needs to be processed. And I do that by going back and going, okay, when I was 8 years old and when I was in Sunday school, and that guy directed whatever it was at me, and it wasn't nice, and it was an attack on me, and it was motivated by darkness, then, but this is now. Why am I still bringing it into the present? I wasn't responsible for that. If it happened to me when I'm 6 years old, I don't have a part in that. I wasn't able to defend myself. I wasn't developed enough. Whatever it is, that is the children are innocent and they can't defend themselves. But this is me now. And I can look back and I can go, first of all, I can have empathy for the person that did it, because he was wounded or she was wounded in exactly the same way as they were doing it to me then. Okay, fine, that's great. They're a wonderful, precious human being, and so I can have empathy for the way they were abused when they were a kid as well. Okay, great. The fact that they do it again and repeat the cycle and wish to push off their darkness, they wished back then to push their darkness onto me because they have reconciled trauma that they couldn't sit with, and that they're not conscious of the abuse that they were doing, then that's not alright. And it's separating out the person and the behavior to be able to say, it's not alright that you do that. It's not alright that you did that. If I can understand that they are never going to apologize, or they may never apologize, then I have to heal it for myself without any regard to them whatsoever. And I do that by having amazing compassion and love for me, my inner child, and treating myself as I treat other people. I find it really difficult. Learning to love as a scapegoat, learning to love myself, make good decisions. I would suggest people do, but why do I find it so difficult to do for myself? Little by little, one day at a time, removing those people from my life who have an agenda to keep me small, to keep me in a paradigm, to keep me wrong. I get choices in my life. We all have choices in our lives. The more I can make informed choices and by discussing them with friends and other people, the better choices I make. That's a whole load of heavy stuff. I'm going to go and swim in the sea full of negatively charged ion particles, and that's a good thing. Going in the sea, going in nature, standing on the sand can change the way I feel just by sucking the negative energy out of my body. Thanks for watching.